Well, I was driving back home after a long day, and driving one of the police interceptors. Now I don't drive that much, but I saw what looked like one of those little tea lights on the side of the road in a weird place. I literally couldn't tell if it was a little incandescent light, like for one of these little shrines they put when people get killed on the side of the road, or I couldn't tell what it was. And I saw somebody squatting over this little glowing like bulb of light, and I realized I think that's somebody trying to light a fire in the dry grass on the side of the road. So I whip around, I try and get blocked out so I can go down the next street, but it's a dead-end street. But at least I could see across, because there wasn't any defilade there. I could see straight through and where he would have been. And I pulled down the end of the street with the lights blacked out, and their dogs barking and everything at me, and I couldn't see the light where I should have been able to see it. So then I had to back up, whip around the same way I'd come from, and hoped I could see him from the opposite way. I didn't see him. So I'm looking up the street, and then I see beyond the next building, I see some light. I think it's like police car or fire truck lights. I'm like, oh, something's going on there. Maybe that was like ash that came down from a bigger fire or something I didn't see. So I come around the corner of the San Jacinto mortuary there on State Street, and one of their ferns, like big bottle brush type trees, is just top half is just lit. And I'm like, nobody around. I'm like, great, I missed him. And he got a little further. I mean, the guy was working fast. And so I couldn't leave to go look for the guy because there's a fire. I'm trying to find out what the address is. I get police on the line. They transfer me to fire department. Get the fire truck to get over there. So then the fire truck shows up. I just bone out of there and go try and find this guy. But I don't know which way he's gone. I don't know where he started, except that it looks like in general the direction he was going was up towards State Street, toward the next street up. I saw him close to Cottonwood and on State, and where he lit the fire was going towards 7th. So I headed up 7th, up near my buddy's shop on Kellum over at Empire Welding, and I look out of the corner of my eye, and across the street from where Empire Welding is, and right next to the car wash and animal hospital, there's a guy standing right up against one of the palm trees. I think he's trying to, like, I see something, a little light. I think he's trying to light some of the palm fronds on fire. So I whip around, go down Kellum, park blacked out, and then I guess he saw me on that side of the road, and he beat feet over to the bus stop across from where my buddy's shop used to be. And I think he was looking in the trash can next to the bus stop for something on fire. And I think he saw me because he started cussing and acting weird. He's just wearing sweatpants, no shirt, no shoes, and he disappears. So I get a hold of the police. They transfer me to the fire, they transfer me back to police and tell them, hey, this is what's going on, this is who I saw, this is where I saw him last. So I see a couple police cars, and unmarked car looks just like mine. And then, so I'm waiting. They call me back. They say, okay, well, if we need you, we'll call you. And I said, okay. Well, so I went over to J&J's Diner on 7th and State, and there's just all kinds of vehicles, fire department, fire chief, fire truck, police cars, everything. So I figured they caught him. I didn't want to walk up and interfere or anything because I didn't know. But I waited, and then so I went back down State Street the opposite way from where the fires that I'd seen were started, and I see 3 or 4 other hot spots where there's smoke coming up before even Cottonwood actually down towards Ramona Crossing, where like Wingstop and McDonald's and all these places are. So I count 3 or 4 other dumpster fires, and I'm like, dude, I caught this guy halfway through his night shift. So I decided to go back where the original fire that I had caught up to started, and there was actually a San Jacinto police officer parked there, and there was a fire truck for a minute. The fire truck was getting ready to leave, and I just went up and told him, I said, hey, I was the one who made the call over here, and so he's like, oh, okay, well, great. He goes, I'm glad you came back, because if you have time, it's not a big deal. We're going to have the arson investigator come over here, but he's got like 4 other fires, other than this one, at least, that he's going to first in that order. So I'm like, yeah, that's no problem. So I waited about half hour or so, and he said, well, if you want to go, you can take off. I mean, if he needs to talk to you or something. I was like, well, I'll hang out and watch some videos and stuff. And so then about 10 minutes ago, I said, well, you know what, he's busy, and they've got the guy, and I possibly ID'd him. The officer had a picture of the guy on his phone, and I called my buddy's shop and talked to him, and he said he'd seen him wandering around. Feet so black he looks like he's got shoes on, but he's barefoot. So he's a homeless guy. So we'll see what happens. But I just posted 2 quick videos because I was like, well, I want to document this at least a little bit, so maybe if somebody recognizes this location, this area, and has something that got burnt or damaged, at least they could look up my YouTube channel and find out who, what, where that I know. I'll know more once I talk to the arson investigator, if he even needs to talk to me. But it wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't need to talk to me. I'm sure there were other eyewitnesses than me, and one of them must have seen the guy actually lighting a fire. So anyways, just wanted to make a little video to explain what the 2 other videos, arsonist caught question mark, and then arsonist caught explanation point 2. That's what it's all about. So I'll talk to you guys later. Stay safe. Guess we caught one for the team.